Continuing on my look at all of the new weapons coming to Battlefield 1, today we're going to focus on the Medic class. So far in Battlefield 1, DICE has reserved this class mainly for semi-auto weapons, with the odd exception. And the class use has actually been fairly low, only just beating out support. DICE is looking to spice up the class a little bit by adding some lesser known rifles, the Fedorov Avtomat and the General Liu rifle. Let's start with the Fedorov though, because it's the rifle that's going to change the Medic class in a very big way. The Fedorov Avtomat, I'm sure you can guess by its name, is the new fully automatic weapon that DICE is adding to the Russian DLC. And having used it on all 3 Russian maps now, it's very clear that this is DICE's attempt to give the Medic a proper assault rifle-like weapon. It looks like one, it sounds like one, and it performs like one. And I'm confident that it's going to change the Medic playstyle for a lot of people who use it. Now, it comes in 2 variants, the Trench and the Optical. Both come equipped with a 25-round detachable magazine, and the fire rate is 450 rounds a minute. And that might sound a little bit slow, but then you have to sort of pair it up with the other rifles on offer. And then you realise that it doesn't pair up with any other rifle, and that it's actually a really good deal. Now, the 1907 Sweeper only fires at 300 rounds a minute, and the Cherrigotti, in all of its variants, which can also fire full auto, only fires at 300 rounds a minute. The Fedorov comes in at 150 rounds a minute higher, and it resembles a proper assault rifle. Both variants offer semi-auto fire if you want to activate it, but if I'm honest, you're better off leaving them on full auto and simply tap firing if you need to hit someone further away. And I should probably mention, this weapon isn't built for long-range engagement. Close to medium range is where you're going to want to be using it. A balancing feature though, some properly severe vertical recoil, is going to limit your effectiveness using the full auto fire mode, but if you keep your engagements close to you, then you should be absolutely fine. This is where the proper self-loading, semi-automatic rifles in the Medic class are going to lose, but they will win in long-range gunfights because the Fedorov is just not going to hit anybody past about 50 meters or so. Now, the Trench variant, that features iron sights and slightly better hipfire accuracy overall, as you'd expect from a Trench variant, and the Optical variant comes with better recoil control via a foregrip, and of course optical sights, so you can take advantage of that slightly lower recoil. You will sacrifice the hipfire accuracy, but then that's what you use the Trench variant for. Now, with how much I think this rifle is going to change the Medic class in terms of playstyle, I'm slightly worried that people who don't own the DLC will feel a bit aggrieved that they cannot compete with a Medic who's got the Fedorov in close quarters. Lots of Battlefield 1's maps focus the gameplay into these tight choke points. Take Amiens, for example. If you put the Fedorov on that map, suddenly you allow the Medic to operate at much closer ranges, putting them closer to the fallen players on the ground, and that enables them to revive people that they previously couldn't reach because their weapon was built for longer range combat. Now, it remains to be seen just how effective this weapon is going to be for all of those players who will get access to it, but I'm thinking ahead here, and it might cause a few issues. With the weapons being balanced the way they are at the moment in the CTE, because the maps we're playing on kind of operate at medium range, you can't really get the true power of the Fedorov unless you're like on an objective right up in front of the enemy. Using the Trench variant up really close, that's where I think the Medic class is going to become very powerful for people who've got this gun unlocked. Moving on to the other weapon coming to the Medic class now, this is the General Liu rifle. It's rather an odd rifle because in real life, it's a hybrid between a bolt action and a semi-auto. But the DICE developers have chosen to keep it within the realms of the Medic class and just stick with a semi-auto fire option. It was also the first Chinese semi-auto rifle to ever be made, even though prototypes were produced by an American gun company. The designs and the machinery were then shipped over to China, where production continued, but the rifle was never given a proper military designation. It always remained known as the General Liu rifle. Now in Battlefield 1, the rifle falls into the category of smaller magazine rifles. 6 rounds fit into an internal magazine, but the key to making this weapon work is slow, steady fire. Now you can spam it if you want to, and there's a little bit of evidence of that in my video here, but the aim that you're going to have is just terrible. You really need to aim down sights with this weapon. Having a good sidearm to back you up as well, maybe one that you can spam a little bit instead of the main rifle. If things get hairy in close quarters, that's probably advisable, but this weapon works best at medium range, taking care with your shots. The 2 variants are the Factory and the Storm, with the Factory offering just iron sights, and the Storm offering slightly less recoil with a foregrip attached, but no optical sights at all, so you still have to contend with those iron sights. Now, of these 2 weapons, I'm going to take a stab in the dark here and suggest that the Fedorov is going to be the fan favourite. The General Liu rifle kind of falls into line with what Battlefield 1 already offers. It's essentially a packet of ready salted crisps, but the Fedorov offers an assault rifle-like experience, and that will greatly increase a medic's effectiveness in close quarters, so this is like your super bold prawn cocktail flavour of crisps. But how do you unlock these rifles? Well, DICE has kindly added all of the assignment data into the Battlefield 1 CTE, along with the new maps, and 1 assignment is required to unlock 1 variant, so that gives us 4 assignments in total for the medic class. First up, we have the Fedorov Trench variant. You're going to need to get 40 kills with the Che Trench, and then perform 40 squad heals using the medkit or the pouches. This is a fairly easy assignment. Basically play the medic class with the Che and help out your squad using the medkits or the pouches. Everything will be tracked in-game. You don't need to activate a tracker or anything like that for these assignments. It's all going to be tracked for you above the minimap, like the weapons were for the French DLC. And you don't have to do the assignments in order either. In fact, all of the assignments are active at once, and you'll progress towards all of them by simply playing the game. Next unlock assignment is the Fedorov Optical variant, and this one you're going to need to get 50 kills with the Selbstlader M1916 Optical variant, and then 20 kills with the C96 pistol. Again, this one is fairly easy, I think a little bit too easy, purely focusing on kills here. Doesn't really have much to do with the medic class, other than you're using medic weapons. Switching over to the other weapon, the General Liu rifle, first up we have the Factory variant assignment. You'll need to score 40 kills with the Mondragon Storm variant, and then get 30 squad revives. And lastly, the Storm variant of the Liu, 50 kills with the auto-loading 8 Marksman variant, and then 10 kills with frag rifle grenades. All of these assignments aren't really that challenging, and you should have these weapons unlocked fairly quickly, and that contrasts a lot with the other 2 classes that I've reviewed so far, the Scout and the Assault. Both of those had slightly more complex assignments, where you had to kill different classes on the enemy team, and I think that's a much more entertaining way of unlocking weapons, because you've kind of got to seek out different infantry players. But there we go, for the medic class, DICE have decided that it's quite easy to unlock these new weapons. I will confess that I don't really like the General Liu rifle. I much prefer the Selbstlader 1906, which is the level 10 weapon in Battlefield 1, and I like the Factory variant of that, using just 5 rounds, but it's extremely accurate at range if you stand still. I don't feel that I've got the same accuracy with the General Liu rifle, even though it kind of falls into the same category. I'm not really sure why DICE balanced it the way they did, not giving it some slightly improved sights maybe on the Storm variant to make that variant a little bit more attractive, because apart from that, it's got slightly lower recoil, but I'd argue there are already better weapons in the game anyway. It's probably down to personal choice. You guys might really like it, but just from my testing on the CTE over the last couple of days, I'm not really fond of the General Liu rifle. But there you go, 2 brand new medic rifles coming to Battlefield 1 very soon, but I know which one that I prefer, the Fedorov. According to DICE, the Fedorov was actually a top community request, which is why they added it in, so you can give yourself a pat on the back for being awesome and suggesting something that is actually really cool. Let me know what you think of these weapons down below in the comments section. Are these ones for you, or are you more excited about some of the other ones in different classes? And as always, I'll be down there reading just as many comments as I can. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.